Watch it in slow motion as you turn around and say, take my breath away. Take my breath
My fellow Americans, at 7 o'clock this evening, Eastern Time, air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against the headquarters, terrorist facilities, and military assets that support Muammar Gaddafi's subversive activities. The attacks were concentrated and carefully targeted to minimize casualties among the Libyan people, with whom we have no quarrel. That no concessions policy remains in force. In spite of the wildly speculative and false stories about arms for hostages and alleged ransom payments, we did not trade weapons or anything else for hostages, nor will we.
Despite Reagan's denials, investigations soon revealed that arms had been traded for hostages held in the Mideast. Some of the profits had been illegally diverted to support the Contras, a guerrilla force organized by the CIA fighting the Nicaraguan government.
Hey folks, Crazy Glamour 80 here again. Welcome to my second 1986 time capsule, but also welcome to game number 10 in my 20 from 1986 series, and this is the first sequel to Gradius, created by Konami, and it is called Life Force, but it is also known as Salamander. I only saw this once in an arcade, and I have only seen it as Life Force, and I think that's the only name it went by in the US. But this is a pretty cool game. Two things that do kind of suck is that there's some pretty major slowdown at times, and the system that worked so well, the power-up system in Gradius, is gone in this game. It had like a little progress bar of power-ups in that first game, and that is not in this game. You will automatically get the power-ups as you collect certain icons from defeated enemies. And here it tells you a little backstory about the game. There is some sort of like android type creature that you enter, kind of Fantastic Voyage like, and you have to destroy a brain tumor inside its body. Kind of a interesting little idea. But in the first game, and in most games in the Gradius series, you are known as the Vic Viper. And you have a different name in this one. It's, what was it? USS, what was it called? USS, Lightspeed. But this shows the different power-ups that you can collect from certain enemies. There's hyperspeed, there's laser, there's pulse laser. The laser is also, it also looks like drill bits, long drill bits. The pulse laser is also known as ripple. And the ripple is very rare, it seems. Very hard to get a hold of. The laser is the one I usually end up with. There's also a shield. And the shield looks a little different than in other Gradius games. You can play 2-player simultaneous play in this game, as you can tell. And there is voice samples. Konami was kind of experimenting with voice samples around the mid-80s. They also did that for like Double Dribble and some other games, I believe. But yeah, you'll see the different icons that enemies will leave. Player 1 is a blue ship, and Player 2 is a red ship. Now, a neat little trick that you can do is you can insert credits during a game, and this will turn into extra lives. It'll turn into 3 extra lives for each credit, and you can have a total of 26. You will need all those lives. But having a 2-player simultaneous play and both of you having a whole lot of lives, that really helps. This is a game you really want to play 2-player simultaneous play. And we'll go ahead and get started. I really like the way the voice samples work in this game. They tell you where you are in the game, or in the android's body. I think it's supposed to be an android. And they tell you which power-up you picked up, and they'll tell you which certain enemies appear. Kind of cool. Yeah, it was probably a big disappointment to a lot of players that the Gradius power-up system was ditched. They brought it back for just about all the following sequels and spin-offs. Of course, the most famous spin-off was Parodius and the Parodius games, which were a spoof of Gradius. I thought that was a great idea by Konami. There is an excellent NES port of this. Part of the reason it's so great was that they added a couple stages. There's 6 stages in this game. Take out as many of these rocks as you can. They are worth a lot of points. This game is surprisingly not super hard early on, you know, for a Konami game, whose games are renowned for their difficulty. Now this what they call muscle tissue that you need to shoot through, do not dawdle. That will catch up to you quickly and kill you if you are too slow. And the first boss is a giant brain. But yeah, if you've never played the NES port, definitely snap it up. It is fantastic. Very, very cool. Now, you need to be out of the range of these grabby hands here. And he's got 2 of them. And you need to just kind of circle around him, stay out of range of the hands. Ooh, I barely got out of the way. And then just start blasting the hell out of his eyeball. See, he was pretty easily defeated. When you have multiple options, that really makes the game quite a bit easier. And note that we not only have horizontally scrolling action, we have vertically scrolling action. And it switches from one stage to the other.
Cannot be destroyed.
You can't destroy those rocks. Be careful, because there's a whole lot of them. You don't want to slam into a rock. When you die, you will lose your power-ups. You will lose your options. But at the very least, your options will float away downwards. And if you're high enough towards the top of the screen, you can probably collect them on your next life. Yeah, this game is pretty cool. It has fantastic music. The first Gradius had fantastic music, but I think this is better. I really like the music here. The game does eventually start getting really difficult. So much so that I eventually did start putting in extra credits and getting all those extra lives. And this guy can be a pain in the butt if you're not used to him. Those tentacles will reach out further than you think, and you'll need to start following them in a circle to avoid getting nailed. Ooh, man. Oh, damn it. See, I can recollect all those options. Pretty nice. One thing that I really like about this game is you have rapid fire. Hold down the fire button. Just do it throughout the game, and you'll just have rapid fire. Super useful, especially if you have some nice fire power-ups like the ripple or the drill laser.
Enter stomach, inner chamber. Warning, danger zone.
Yeah, some of the Konami games with voice samples, it didn't quite work out as well as you'd hope. But others, like this one, they ended up being all right. They worked okay. You have to watch out for these flares in this flame type area. The flares will jut out from the top or bottom. But again, the voice sample is useful in that it'll tell you that they're coming. Now, there is a dragon at the end of this stage, a boss. And you have to be very careful about running out of room. Ooh, I just barely missed that flare there. You have a fire button and a missile button in this game. Hold both the fire and missile button down throughout your gameplay. There's just no reason to take your fingers off those buttons. But yeah, you will be able to collect hyperspeed, the laser, which is a drill, like a long drill bit. Here's that dragon. Yeah, just kind of bait him towards the edge. Don't move in too tight of circles around him. Make sure you've got plenty of room to move around him. You'll hear him kind of growl as you start hurting him. There we go.
Enter liver zone.
Liver zone. But yeah, there's Destruct Missile is another power-up. and that's just your regular missile. Super useful in areas like this where enemies roam along the walls. There's the pulse laser, which is also called ripple. There's the multiple, which is also called option. And it's green in this game. Or actually, no, it's blue. Well, the icon that you pick up that is the option, it is green. There are shootable areas in this stage too, but they will not reform behind you like they did in the first stage, so take your time plowing through if you need to. Yeah, watch out for these boulders, they cannot be destroyed. Yeah, there's annoying slowdown when you have the drill laser sometimes.
Fight off mutant toxin.
Ah, crap, I lost all my options. Yeah, these volcanoes sometimes will shoot out some rocks, but they don't shoot out very fast or far, fortunately. In the NES port, you could shoot through those areas, and there would be hidden power-up capsules in them sometimes, or sometimes extra lives, which is nice. Ah, crap. I hit a dead end there. And this boss is a real pain in the butt. This is where you're going to start to lose some lives, probably. There's these indestructible blue orbs that come out of these little gates here. And yeah, I decided I was going to start giving myself some extra lives. But yeah, don't forget that you can do that. You can enter some credits during gameplay, and for each one that you enter, you will get 3 extra lives. Yeah, I just said screw it. Look at all those stupid blue orbs bouncing around. Yeah, screw it, I wasted a whole bunch of lives just trying to kill that thing. There we go. And yeah, the boss at the end of this stage is a core fighter. Kind of different looking than the usual core fighter that appear in the usual core fighters that appear in Gradius games. But yeah, get the missile and whatever weapon, and just hold down the fire and missile button throughout your game. Yeah, the drill is maybe not as cool as it looks. The pulse or ripple laser is stronger, I believe. Or at least it seems stronger against the bosses. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy some great football. Hope if you have a playoff team currently that they do well this weekend. Ah, that part is unfair. I hate that these things close real quickly around your ship. And this part is a pain in the butt. Look at all those bullets. Good gravy. Ah, crap. These enemies that are fairly common in this game, they make me think of hamburgers. They look kind of like hamburgers. And now here is that core fighter.
Fire, fire!
Yeah, he spits out indestructible blue orbs too. And I was not ready for some of them. Whoops. But you need to just hit him in the center enough times. Ah, crap. But yeah, I think those fodder ships that you see pretty often in this game look like hamburgers. Makes me kind of hungry. In case you're around the Portland area and want to know what are some good burgers, my brother and I have done some video reviews of them. around town. We're always on the lookout for some good burgers, good chicken fried steak, good chicken, good pizza, stuff like that. Through this gameplay, well, that is my game of Life Force, also known as Salamander. Through that gameplay, I did not get the ripple once. Like I was saying, it seems like the laser is far more common than the ripple. But the ripple seems to have a stronger effect against a lot of bosses. We're gonna pick up with invincibility where I left off. There's a lot of jujubes or whatever the hell they are. And this is a sub-boss. This has kind of a core fighter type character. You do not have to destroy it. You can actually survive it long enough and then it'll go away. Like there. And there'll be like 3 of them. But, yeah, I only saw this once in an arcade in, I think, Seattle area or something. I lived in Auburn Federal Way for a few years or so. Maybe 4 years. Went to school for a couple years there in high school and lived there another couple years or so. Yeah, we're gonna finish off this game here. Right around here, your missiles will sometimes shoot holes in the floor below you. That does not give you any points, just for effect, I guess. But we are about to face the last boss of the game, and hey, it's the Moai heads from Gradius. They're back. They should be in every single Gradius game, really. They're so iconic. Easter Island statues. Yeah, the NES port is pretty damn incredible. You definitely ought to check that out. I have a 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System series, and that made game number 20. If you want to check that video out. Yeah, I dig the voice samples in this. They don't sound too cheesy. They sound just right. But there is the tumor, and it will be destroyed. So I saved the android. Now the game will start speeding up, and you will have to make it through these series of closing gates. Some of them will close all the way, so you need to get through them first, like that one. And the others you just need to have really tight maneuvering. And we will see both player number 1 and player number 2 get out of there. And then we start the whole thing over. There's added difficulties this time around. The game will just keep repeating like this. But certain enemies that might not have shot before shoot now. Certain walls that didn't close completely before will close now. And this brain boss will have longer arms. I had invincibility on here too. But that was Life Force, game number 10 in our 20 from 1986 series. This first sequel to Gradius. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for game number 9 in our 20 from 1986 series. And one final message.
Till